Hey everyone, and welcome to Murder by Numbers. So, in the last episode, we discovered a little bit more about Honor's dad. Well, not a lot more, but we discovered that there's some kind of connection between Cross and Honor's dad, which kind of makes sense because Honor's dad was in the force. I don't remember if he was like a cop or a detective or something, but Detective Cross knows him because he made some offhanded remark that Honor really is like Honor's dad. So, that also doesn't surprise me, by the way, because she's nothing like her mother. So her impeccable genes and character and everything must come from her dad. We ended the episode on kind of a strange note because Bobby was acting kind of strange. Like he was looking for something, then he said he wasn't, and then he said he was looking for the boys' room. So we are going to try, if we can, to talk to him. It seems we can't. Maybe we should present something? I feel like these two things are new, so maybe he will respond to those. Okay. Right. I figured he would respond to that, because hopefully he has one too, or he wants one, I hope. You told us that hip flask was Dick's, but he hasn't had a drink for over 40 years. Also very true, yeah. But he could stealthily be using it. But okay. What? Well, then it must belong to somebody else. What about the Ryan guy? You can't pin this on me. I didn't do anything. He's going a little too hard. Huh. Oh, I expected to be able to talk more about it. Maybe if we present this now. Whiskey must have been his. Maybe, except Dick doesn't drink. I don't know, man. I don't have all the answers. You're the detective around here? Okay. I think there was something else that... The hip flask. Yeah. Do you recognize this hip flask? Is it yours? Detectives always have them in movies. I've never seen one in real life before. I don't believe that for a freaking second. Let's try this again. No, it's the same. Maybe now? No. It's kind of strange to me that we come across him and then we can't really do anything with him, but I guess that's it. Let's go to the main hall. You know, I get the feeling Bobby really was looking for something. Maybe for the hip flask. Do you think there's evidence hidden here? It doesn't hurt to take a look around. Okay. I think not, because we already looked here and we found a wallet. That was Ryan's, actually. Oh. We didn't look closely enough the first time because we found something. I'm making progress, but it's kind of slow. Puzzles are getting harder, which makes sense. It would be bad if they stayed the same the entire time. But yeah, I'm having a little bit more trouble. Not that it's actually super difficult yet. But yeah, just want to acknowledge they will get harder as the game gets on. Okay, I don't think I'm too far off now. There we go. And then this one. Yeah, we should almost be done. Let's see. That and that. Handkerchief. So we should probably check that for fingerprints or any kind of DNA, I guess. But if the DNA of the person who was sitting there is on it, that makes a lot of sense. So maybe this handkerchief was used to wipe the doorknob. Maybe they're going to make that connection. I don't know how, but a silk handkerchief? That's weird. Kind of gross. Maybe silk is like a good fabric to wipe prints, and that's why it's made out of silk. Perhaps Bobby dropped it when he left. Maybe. He doesn't strike me as the silk handkerchief type. No, I'd say Ryan would be more that, since he is the son of a rich family. What do these embroidered letters indicate? Don't sneeze? Oh, it doesn't actually say don't sneeze. That's just what's cow made of it. I was like, that's kind of weird. DS. Scout, this must belong to Dick Stanford. Oh, that's interesting. So someone stole it off of him because it was underneath the table, and I don't know if Dick was actually seated at any point. I think he was just in his dressing room the entire time, except for when he was on stage. So the fact that it's underneath the table means someone who was seated there had it, and that wasn't Dick Stanford, so it was stolen off of him. Maybe Bobby is looking for it because he stole it off of Dick Stanford, which makes him look suspicious, but I don't think he's actually the one. I feel like they're throwing a lot of red flags towards him to throw us off the scent of, unfortunately, Kathleen, is what I think. But Dick died in his dressing room. What's this handkerchief doing here? And why does it smell like whiskey? Right. So it was used to wipe the doorknob, because someone mentioned that whiskey is an excellent solvent to wipe anything clean, including fingerprints. So yeah, Dick's own handkerchief was used to, well, cover up his murder, I guess. Okay, things are coming together. Maybe we should go back to Bobby now and present that to him. Maybe that's why we couldn't do anything yet, because we hadn't found this yet. Okay, let's see how he responds to this. Yeah, that was definitely what he was looking for, which makes him look real bad. Maybe he's an accomplice. So maybe he's not as innocent as I think he is. Or what I kept thinking the entire time, even before I knew this, is that he has seen it because he had a plan of his own. He was in the dressing room for some reason, and he saw it happen, and he was like, oh dang, maybe they're going to suspect me of his murder because my fingerprints are all over the place. Let's wipe the entire surface of everything clean, right? Where'd you get that? We found it in the main hall, right where you were standing earlier. It's not mine. Good defense, buddy. I know. The monogram says it was Dick's. That's great. I mean, that's great detective work. You're making it so much worse for yourself. Just shut up for a sec, because you are talking yourself into jail, buddy. The weird thing is, it smells of whiskey. Maybe he liked the smell. A recovering alcoholic, really. Scout, would you join me in the dressing room for a second? Why, Honor? Yes, let's go. It's interesting that Scout is able to pick up on just cues from her face and stuff. It feels very advanced, but alright. Baden? Oh, they want to show Detective Cross this before Bobby can get away, I guess. Are you ever going to let me finish this damn report? You don't need to. We've got all the evidence you need. You've been investigating? Do you even realize how much danger you're putting yourself in? There's a strangler out there. More like a poisoner. I know, and we think it's Bobby Price. Yeah, so it's not gonna be him. He wanted revenge on Dick for sabotaging his TV career. Dick hated him for taking over Backtalk. He used his influence to attack Bobby in the press. Bobby's ratings hit rock bottom. He's on the verge of cancellation. And tonight, Bobby had to sit and watch as the guy who was ruining his career got a Lifetime Achievement Award. That pushed him over the edge. He waited backstage for Dick to go back to his dressing room, and then he strangled her. Makes it sound like it wasn't super premeditated, which I think it is. I think this is extremely premeditated. And Bobby would have to know, like, oh, then I used whiskey and I used this handkerchief and that kind of thing. Although it could be that it's not super premeditated because they used the handkerchief of the victim. If it was premeditated, they would have brought their own handkerchief, I guess. It's a nice theory, but the only thing tying Bobby to the room is that hip flask, and he says it belongs to Dick. That's where our new evidence comes in. Handkerchief, definitely. Well, we don't know anything about the PDA yet, so I feel like that's not a hint. We found Dick's sobriety medallion. He's been sober for over 40 years. I feel like that's not really evidence. I feel like he got that, but he could secretly be drinking. So I always discount that evidence, but alright. Which means Bobby was lying. The hip flask is his. Sobriety medallion. Where in the hell did you find that? In here, detective. In here? You said you were looking for a handbag. Yes, Scout, we did say that. It's not about who found what. It's about coming to the right conclusions. What a load of crap. Where do you learn that, Amateur Detective Monthly? You said it earlier this evening. Well, you can't just... I can't believe I'm getting outsmarted by a toaster oven. Which brings me to the issue of Dick's handkerchief. When we found Bobby backstage, he was clearly looking for something. So we had a look in the main hall around where Bobby had just been. And we found a silk handkerchief that wasn't there earlier. Also, I touched it all over, so if there were any prints of Bobby's in there, you can't find them now. I think stinks of booze. I think something happened to make Bobby nervous. Really nervous. So nervous, he needed a drink to calm his nerves. You think he killed Dick? He has the means, the motive, and the opportunity, but he wasn't prepared for how it would affect him. He was shaking so bad he dropped his hip flask. What about the handkerchief? He'd just killed Dick and spilled the drink everywhere. He was desperate to clean up the evidence and get out before anyone found him. Why did he leave the bottle then? So he grabbed the nearest piece of cloth and used it to mop up the spill. And the fingerprints on the doorknob as he left. I'll be damned. It all fits. Of course it does. We're awesome. Not bad for an amateur, huh? If it wasn't for this goddamn board, Oh, the hell with the paperwork. I think it's about time I had a chat with Bobby Price. I'm so sorry, Detective Cross. It's not gonna be him, and you ditched your paperwork for it. I'm so sorry. But don't start congratulating yourself just yet, Mizrahi. This isn't over. I wonder if... I bet Honor's dad had the last name Mizrahi as well. And that he now calls her Mizrahi. Does he think of his buddy cop? I don't know if it was his buddy, but at least does he think of Honor's dad when he calls her Mizrahi? That's fascinating. Oh, here we go. So, that's the evidence against you. Anything to say for yourself? I didn't mean to do it. I just wanted to talk to him. Oh, it just clicked in my head. Bobby thought he killed him because Bobby is the one that strangled him, but he didn't die because of that. He didn't die because of strangulation. Bobby didn't do it hard or long enough. So Dick Stanford resurrected, I guess. He wasn't dead, but he came to. Then he came to pick up the award and he sniffed the flowers, and that's what actually killed him. So Bobby thinks he's the murderer, but he's not. It all makes sense now. You call that talking? I'm guessing you didn't like his answer. Or maybe it was like... Oh, you know what would make it very complicated? If the strangling happened after Dick Stanford smelled the flowers. Because then we wouldn't know if the strangulation killed him or the poison. But I'm guessing it's like this. So Stanford smelled the flowers, he got poisoned. It is a slow acting poison, but he got symptoms very quickly. And then Bobby had a fight with him and he strangled him and he passed out. He didn't die, he passed out because he wasn't in super good condition at that moment. Then he came back to, and he must have done something that we can find in the evidence, so it proves that Bobby is innocent. That's what I think is going to happen. And then he died because of the slow acting poison. Yes, I am big brain right now. I didn't get an answer. He came backstage with his awards and completely ignored me. Yes, so it was after. Okay, that makes it fascinating. Walked straight past like I didn't even exist. Put up with a lot of his crap since I took over Backtalk, but that was too much. I busted down his door but I didn't want to kill the guy. I just got carried away. swear I barely touched him. Not knowing your own strength is no defense against murder, Mr. Price. I'm taking you in. This is kind of strange. Okay. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but it makes him look like he has his hands behind his back because of the sprite. So I guess what they're trying to do is that. But don't go anywhere, Mizrahi. We still need to talk about this detective hobby of yours. Where were you? You missed the fireworks. Is Detective Cross still here? No, you just missed him. He left with Bobby. What's up? An urgent package arrived for him. I told the police officer I would give it to Detective Cross personally. Why would you trust Scout with it if you don't even know Scout, you know? And they just let you have it? I told them I'm Detective Cross's new personal assistant. They seemed impressed. Scout is so my favorite character. It's really impressive that Scout can make these white lies in his programming. It's very interesting and also very freaking funny. I think I preferred you when you didn't know how to lie. What was the delivery? Yeah, let's go through his personal belongings, shall we? That'll be fun. He'll respond to that great. I'm not sure, but it must be important. Let's do a puzzle. I knew it. We are going to look through his personal mail. Yes, he's going to love us. Going well. Okay, I think I'm almost there. There we go. And that, and that. Alright. Yes. Wait, is that blood? Oh, blood test. Right. What did they take blood of? Oh, right, of the victim. And I think it's going to turn out that he's poisoned and not strangled. And then we know, like, oh, it wasn't Bobby. This must be the forensic reports Cross was waiting for. Oh my. If I'm reading this right, then these blood results mean... Yes. What? What does it mean? I have to take this across. This changes everything. If only it came like 2 seconds earlier, right? What changes everything? Oh, Scout. Detective Cross, where's Bobby? Talking to his lawyer. Why? This blood test came back and, well, see for yourself. That's contaminated this whole hell now. I don't believe it. This says, and that means... Bobby Price couldn't have killed Dick Stanford because he was already dead. Wait. Okay, so he died of the poison before... He died of the poison before Bobby strangled him. Wouldn't Bobby have known that he was dead, though? Like, he wasn't looking at him or anything, but... it feels weird to me because if Bobby came in and he wanted to talk to Stanford and Stanford was already dead, he wasn't breathing, he wasn't moving. I guess he was just barely dead, so he wasn't cold yet, so I can understand that. But I feel like you would have noticed that if you're that close, that you're strangling him with your own two hands, and for quite a while, obviously because there's bruising. And you would notice that the guy's dead, right? Huh. Maybe Bobby is not in his right mind because whiskey, drunk, alcoholic, you know. So as soon as he noticed that Stanford was dead, he thought that he had done it. He hadn't noticed before that he was dead, I guess. I don't understand. Bobby confessed. The robot's got a point. And there were strangulation marks on Dick's throat. I never said Bobby was lying. He did strangle Dick. But that wasn't what killed him. He got lucky. He got lucky. According to this blood test, Dick was poisoned. Woo! I'm right. He died before Bobby even laid a finger on him. Right, so he didn't die while while he was being strangled. So as soon as Bobby strangled him, he was already dead. I don't see why he wouldn't have noticed. I guess he was just that inebriated, huh? You're telling me Bobby Price strangled a corpse? Yes, that's exactly what he did. I don't even know if that's illegal or not. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. Only if he like contaminated some evidence by doing that, I guess. And he didn't notify the authorities either. So that's also a thing.
But that means whoever killed Dick is still loose.
Not for long. We've got that whole building in lockdown. And this time we kept it in lockdown. We didn't just let people go. Whoever it is, we've got them cornered.
That means there's still time.
Let's go. Wait a second. How did you get out of the building? Good question, actually.
One of your officers thinks I'm your personal assistant.
Gee, I don't know how they got that idea. Oh, he loves us. He loves us so much. You know, you two make a great argument for early retirement.
What happens to Bobby now?
He's out on bail. One of the benefits of being a TV star, I guess. Good lawyers. So he's gone? Why do we still need to question him about something? He's not going anywhere. One of the conditions of his bail is that he cooperates with the investigation. Don't forget, I've done this 100 times. I know what I'm doing. Unlike you. I don't know, I feel like Honor does kind of know what she's doing.
Detective, I saw you taking Bobby Price into custody. I always knew he was trouble.
In that case, I'm sorry to disappoint you. He's innocent.
Innocent?
Are you sure? I found the evidence myself, Mom. Dick was poisoned. I don't think you should tell her that. But alright, because she's kind of a suspect because she found the body.
But don't worry, we'll catch the real killer soon.
I've had just about enough of this. You keep blabbing to everyone. How many times do I have to tell you? You are not detectives. But I don't want to hear it. I let it slide when it was about your friend. But this? You're out of your depth, Mizrahi. Aw. You really want to help? Here's a job for you. A hot pink 4x4 was double parked out front. It was getting towed as we arrived. Why don't you two use those detective skills of yours to find the owner? They need to go collect it from the impound lot. This is going to connect to the murder case, I bet. So what did he say? A hot pink 4x4? Interesting choice of car. Who would have something like as lavish as hot pink scream image as that? Okay.
A new mystery to solve.
Forget about it, Scout. He's just trying to keep us out of his way. You're damn right I am. You think this stupid car is more important than finding a murderer? Absolutely not. But it's the only thing I'm going to let you investigate around here. Take it or leave it. I feel like that's fair, actually.
Perhaps we should just investigate the car, Honor.
Which side are you on? He's getting a little too close for comfort here, but okay. I've even got your first piece of evidence. They checked inside before it got towed and found something on the dash.
Oh? Let me take a look.
Ooh. Okay, so as soon as this conversation is done, we're ending the episode, but I'm really invested, so let's do this puzzle and we'll see. I'm really happy when it's like bigger puzzles like these, because then I get more time to listen to this wonderful music. It's so good. I cannot get over how good it is. Okay, so it's something rectangular, but I don't know what yet. Maybe a driver's license. That would make sense, but I don't know if this game is going to go for something that makes sense. We should almost be done. There's a lot of X's around. Right, I think that's it. Oh, it's an envelope of some kind, with a really fancy stamp on it seems. Nice, we are a decent detective now.
Aha! It seems to be a letter.
Great, a new lead in the most pointless errand ever. I feel like this is going to be the evidence that car, right? Like they're shoving it off as not important, and then it turns out to be the most important thing ever.
If Detective Cross won't let us investigate the murder, we don't have to give up. We should focus on what we can do instead.
He only gave us his dumb job because he wants to keep us out of his hair. How does that help?
That might be what he intended, but we can still use it to our advantage. He's given us a chance to show what we can do.
Yeah, if we do this correctly, he's going to let us join the force, like right on that day. That's what's going to happen. You're right, Scout. Up until now, he's always been there. But now we can prove that we can handle something without any help.
Right. We just have to find out. We just have to find who this letter was sent to.
Well, it could also be that they were going to send it, so it's either the recipient or the sender. Nothing we can handle. We are a team after all. So what does it say?
I can't make it to the awards tonight, sweetie. Your idiot father is remodeling the kitchen again. I hope this cute car makes up for it. Lots of love, Mom.
Interesting. So an apology for not going to an award show gets you a car. So that definitely screams rich. Very rich. So it's not Dick Stanford, obviously, because of age. I'm thinking of age. It kind of makes me think of Ryan because of rich family, but I don't know if Ryan would have a very obnoxious car, actually, now that I think about it. So maybe it's Ryan. I've got a pretty good idea who this belongs to. Right, because Anna would recognize like handwriting and tone of writing if it's Ryan's mom.
Just 1 second, Honor Mizrahi. You're not going anywhere until we talk about this detective nonsense you've gotten yourself into.
Sorry, Mom. You heard Detective Cross. We have to find out who owns that car.
Oh, don't worry about him. He understands the situation perfectly well.
What? Okay, that was kind of confusing. But we are going to end the episode here. So, man, a lot happened in this episode. Bobby got taken in, but then we also proved him innocent. We proved him guilty, and then we proved him innocent in like the span of 5 minutes. It was kind of great. But, yeah, I don't know what the car is going to have to do with this, but I feel like it's going to have something to do with it. But I still feel like my theory would be correct. They just made it a bit more interesting with Bobby actually doing something. I thought Bobby was just behind some kind of screen and he was behind the scenes and watching it all unfold, and then he was like, oh no, I don't want to get found guilty for this. But he actually was involved. Not in a way that I would have thought. He strangled him, but he was already dead at that point, so he is not a murderer. It's very interesting. I like that twist. I really do. So Bobby is kind of not a good guy. So, well, his emotions overcame him. Plus, he's probably extremely inebriated. So, but that doesn't excuse him, obviously. So Bobby is not a clean sheet as I thought he was. So that's very interesting. So I guess we're going to have to find out who the car belongs to, and I bet whoever the car belongs to is also the killer. So by that theory, it would have to be Kathleen's. I don't know if Kathleen would have an outlandish car. Maybe she would. Maybe she would. Yeah, it could be. Well, we'll figure that out in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Dooey doo.